Okay,
Oh, there we are.
there we are. It's been a minute.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute before we've done this. So, how are things in your world?
Doing good, man. Getting been back into the swing of things. Those holidays, whether we like it or not, can definitely tip you off your schedule,
You know what's
right?
interesting is, and I had this conversation yesterday, is everyone's like, can you believe it's the end of January? Can you believe that we're going to February? Can you believe? And I'm like, you know what's interesting is that every year we say the same thing.
Right.
Can you believe that we're here?
Can you
So,
believe it's Thanksgiving?
yeah, so you and I are going to laugh when we're doing this next holiday season in
Right.
2025. And we're going to say, can you believe that it's already, Thanksgiving and the holiday season?
Right.
And that really goes down into goal planning. I went through a lot of different real estate offices talking about goal planning. And what I found is that people are really, really good at talking about their accomplishments, which I think is great. I think people should recognize their accomplishments.
Right.
And they're really, really good at talking about what they want to do in the next 12 months. Where I think people fall short is taking that spread, so where you're at versus what you want, and
Yeah.
then reverse engineering that into daily step by step activity. So the planning, they're good at setting goals.
Yeah.
I don't find that people are really good at planning the steps to achieve their goals.
I would definitely agree with that. It's there's one thing for knowing what your goals are, but even if you're able to reverse engineer like your daily activities to what it's needed to accomplish those, still then you have the gap of executing on that on a daily basis as well.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Um, so a little bit about what's going on because it's been a month, a little
At
more than a
least, yeah,
month
I
that you
think.
and I have talked. So in that month, so as of today, because you were there at the beginning of my journey in July, as of today,
Yes,
I'm at training day 204.
dude,
So
beast mode.
for 200 days straight, I've closed my Apple rings every single day, which, as a reminder, I always have to look at it, consists of 600 calories for my move goal. So I'm
Okay.
burning, my movement is burning an extra 600 calories.
Yeah.
I have a 45-minute exercise time, and I
Does
think
that
that's
count
self
into the 600 of
explanatory.
movement calories?
Say that again.
Does that count into the movement calories?
Yes.
Or is that just okay?
Yeah. Yeah. So you can get double duty. So some of these harder workouts that I do, zone interval training with a 37-pound pack on,
Yeah.
that will burn a crap load. Like I could be done with my goal by noon
Right.
with that goal. And then I have 12 hours of a standing goal. Interestingly, because I have a standing desk, that doesn't count. Standing goal only counts if you're moving around.
Hmm.
So, and you have to, in order to get so your Apple Watch will actually track what percentage you're moving while you're standing during the given hour. The
Okay.
minimum that you have to do to accomplish to get that 1 hour is 1 minute per 1 hour. Now that might sound simple. It's
Right.
not. It's not simple. When you're, and for what you do,
Yeah.
because we typically book every half hour increment and you're just going from one thing to the next to the next. Sometimes
Right.
it's hard to just get up and go pee. So today, let me see, where am I at today? I'm at okay. So I'm 3 for 12 right now. I wake up at 4:30. I'm out the door by 5. Today I was out by like 5:05, but But here's where I'm at. I'm coming full circle in regards to the plan. My initial goal when I started was to close the rings and to get 10,000 steps.
Yeah.
I started on July 8th. I failed on July 10th, and I had to start over on July 11th. I closed all my rings, but I hit like 9,560 steps or something like that. But in my book, failing is failing. So it doesn't matter if I missed it by 400 steps or 4,000 steps, I still missed it. So I had to start over, and that's why it's July 11th. So what I realized real quick is that my plan of just getting 10,000 steps by just walking with no plan didn't work. So that's how my philosophy of waking up a few hours early came into play. First, I woke up like an hour early. I thought that was plenty of time. But what I discovered is that my body needs a cool down period of anywhere between 30 and 60, and my mind. Yeah. I need a cool down period. So I wake up at 4:30. Actually, my alarm goes off at 4:20. I typically hit snooze twice. Some people think that's not efficient. It's perfect for me because the first alarm gets my mind on.
Yeah.
And then it just goes off every 9 minutes, and I'm out of bed like, I don't know, like 4:40 in the morning. Then I get ready and I'm out the door. But I did that because I reverse engineered it and I planned it. And now that I'm T204, it's become a habit. Pros and cons.
Was the initial just goal set of 10,000 steps? Were you not able to? Were you just coming up short without that specific time frame, like the action item or the plan? Is that what was kind of led you to?
The precursor to how everything went down was I turned 50 next month.
Yeah.
And you know me for a lot of years, but last year when I went to Funnel Hacking Live, I tweaked my back and I got sciatica. Dude, sciatica is like the worst thing ever. It's a pinched nerve and makes your whole left side numb. It's like, and it's like months. It's not a weekly. It's not you're fine in a few days. It's months.
Right.
And I got to the point where I was okay, still had remnants of pain, but then during the summer, went to Dubai, and during Dubai, I got a gout flare up, and it made my foot swell up so bad, and I just had this moment. I'm like, I'm turning 50 next year.
Yeah.
Like
my body's telling me.
I was when I served in the Marines, I was fit. I was functional. And over time, what happened is I just slowly got further and further away of what it was. So this was a conscious decision that I'm like, no, this stops now. And I had to make it, I had to plan on how I'm going to do this. Now, what I do now versus where I started at is completely different.
Yeah.
Well, not completely different. It's like version 6.0 though.
Right.
Like I started version 1, failed day 2, created version 2, created version 3. So, I did this Instagram post yesterday. When I'm out there in the morning, I have these, I'm just there. I'm alone with my thoughts.
Right.
And I'm thinking, because, I focus on the training space for real estate agents and such. And I'm thinking, I'm like, everybody puts too much credibility in motivation. Motivation, it gets you started. That's it. Once you started, your commitment and your drive take over, and now you just have to do the work. Because I'm not motivated. We've talked about this before. I'm not motivated waking up at 4:20 in the morning. Now it doesn't bother me. It used to bother me. It used to be hard. Everything's hard until it's easy. But
Motivation doesn't get you up on day 176 when it's raining and cold out.
you know what gets you up on day 176 when it's raining and it's cold out? It's having day number 176, knowing that you have to start over. Because
Right.
it's easy to quit on day two because the you're not far enough into the path. But it's like a video game. You get so far into a level that you're like you can't quit because starting over is a longer path than just going through it. So that's how I came up with my non-negotiable, my minimum acceptable standard, which
Yeah.
is closing my rings and 10,000 steps. That is my minimum non-negotiable. It doesn't matter if I wake up early. It doesn't matter if I'm staying up until midnight. That is my minimum. And look, there are times still, if I'm traveling, depending on where I'm at, because I'm on the West Coast. If I'm on the East Coast, I just lost 3 hours. There are
Right.
times where I'm in that gym on the treadmill working to get
Right.
my steps like at midnight.
Walking up and down the hallways at the hotel.
I've done that. I've done that.
Like, oh,
So
that's 3 flights of stairs here. I can do this, 40 times.
yeah, so that I wasn't intending to come to talk about that, but I did want to share with you, because you've known me a lot of years. I am now at 150 pounds. I am about 14% body fat. Hold on, I'm looking at my 14.7. This is according to my scale, so it's not
Yeah.
accurate. I'm at a 14.7% body fat. As of today, I've lost 40 pounds of fat.
Damn.
I have not had back problems. For since I've started, I haven't had any gout flare up. My
Yeah.
body is able to do things that I was unable to do except when I was younger. My mindset, I've kind of refound myself. Like my mindset is back to who I remember who I once was when I
Mm.
was this high energy, get stuff done.
Yeah.
No excuses.
Right.
So I've reinvigorated myself. So, but that's where I'm at with it. It says that I took my metabolic age when I started was 49. So it was right where I needed to be when I
Yeah.
took the metabolic. My metabolic age now is down to 40. So
Nice.
based on
All
my
right.
based on the metrics that my watch is taking and
Yeah.
the health app and stuff, it's saying that I'm actually prolonging my life. So I'm starting like I said, I turn like in a month. What's today?
Shorter than that.
Yeah. I have like yeah, it's soon. It's like 30 days from now. 29 days. I turn 50, and um, I'm starting with. I plan on living till I'm 100.
It's a good
Far
goal.
from something coming out and smashing me on the sky or some sort of accident from a
Yeah.
unnatural cause. With medicine, with science, with all the knowledge we have, I think the proper diet and exercise, having the Asian genetics, I think I should be able to live to at least 100. That's my
And
goal.
now you have a
Talk about long-term
daily
goal.
action plan to accomplish your goal.
Yeah, yeah.
way to
So
wrap,
enough
way
about
to
me.
wrap that one
You
up.
you just went. What are you up to? What's
Uh, same old, same old. I went through, or some of the weeks while we were out. I do like an annual. So about 6 years ago, I had basal cell carcinoma, so I had some skin cancer cut off my face. So we do like an annual. Every year, I'll do like an annual, essentially a treatment. It's like a topical chemo. Um, so I was like almost out of commission there for a good bit of time. Normally, it's not too rough, but this year I just went like it was pretty significant, and it was just, I believe that was more so me just kind of overshooting the mark on the actual treatment itself. Normally, it's like a 3 week topical type of a deal, and I think I pushed it to like I was at like 28 days or something this time. And yeah, it was not a pretty sight. I think I sent you a picture of it and was just like, I was like, yeah, I'm not quite
No,
feeling up
I'm
to
not camera ready.
I'm not quite camera ready. Um, but yeah, outside of that, man, I'm just, we've been jamming hard, business wise. We got folks. I always love the enthusiasm at the beginning of the year. People are gung ho, regardless of, the constriction on, the, market size for real estate and loan officers. We are, just going gangbusters with enrolling new clients and seeing their success across the board. So it's super cool to see people like, even having, in a, slow market, having some of their, best months yet.
I read this article and I don't know where this statistic came from, but it seems accurate to me, is that everybody starts the year strong, but people have already given up on their New Year's resolutions by the 19th. Oh, it was the Strava app. It was an exercise app. They have a free version. I have it on it. I downloaded it because it connects to different things. And as they track their millions of users, what they see is that an influx of activity, like on January 1st, and then all of a sudden it just goes, beginning on the 19th, it just goes. Psst.
That's some interesting data. And how awesome to be able to not awesome from the standpoint of people dropping off, but awesome from the standpoint of being able to just see that data in real time.
Well, the fact they can pinpoint it to a specific day.
Right.
And in my experience, and probably in your experience, I've seen that as well. You get real estate agents, you get loan officers, they're all gung-ho. They're like, yeah, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And then they go hard for a week or two or three, and then all of a sudden they disappear.
I saw somebody else, it was like some real estate coach or something like that, saying that, I forget what he said about what January was, but he said, something along the lines like January, they're gung-ho, obviously, and then, but February is quitter's month, where everybody throws in the towel, and it's like, you're like, man.
Yeah, and then you just get to
reality slaps you right in the face. It's like, oh.
Hey, do you know who David Brecka is?
Yeah,
I think that's his name. The 10X Health guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I there's this thing going around the internet with Dana White, the head of UFC, and this is what caught my interest. I like Dana White. I like Joe Rogan, but he had said that I can't remember what it was, high blood pressure or something like that, but he's been dealing with something pretty much all his life. Yeah. He's been on all of these medications and stuff. And he says, you know what? I am never going to be listening to a doctor's advice ever again. Now, yes, if I need an operation, if I break my arm, if something like that, okay, totally different. But he says, for as far as a health standpoint, I'm not listening to him. And he said that David Brecka changed his life. And now you see this lean Dana White, just lean and full of energy. So Joe Rogan just interviewed him. It's like 2 podcasts back. So that means it's like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And this morning on my ruck, because my ruck's an hour, I can't listen to 3 hours of Joe Rogan every single day.
No.
Anyone who can listen to 3 hours of Joe Rogan every other day, you need to go out and find something a little bit more efficient. And I can't listen to it in the background either, because it takes me, I can't listen to that and do what I'm supposed to at the same time. I actually don't think that's possible, but whatever. But I got into this, and the things that he was saying, it's just like, this guy's an expert in human biology. He's not an MD, he's a human biologist.
You want to
And
know where he got started from?
I think it was Cardone.
He went through Cardone. He was like an actuary for insurance companies.
Yes, he said that.
And he was like, so he had the data and like knew like could, and that was like kind of his like his starting point for like background of like knowledge of like, okay, to be able to then come through and be able to, kind of like just dissect everything down to like,
Well,
he's got really good content.
He has,
definitely.
he had the professional training.
Mhm.
So he went through and had the professional training to be able to evaluate thousands of medical records to be able to connect the dots. Because if you and I went and actually just looked at medical records without having that background and understanding of a knowledge of what he has, all we would see is just really long words and just follow the criteria. But I think that, it really comes down to, he said that people focus on macros, but they don't focus on micros. And you don't have the core elements you need in order for your body to actually process. So I encourage anyone to seek that guy out and listen to him, because you and I have talked about in the past that you have to find these influencers that align with your beliefs and your goals and personality. I was talking to my wife and I'm like, Joe Rogan's actually a rather intelligent person. She's like, no, he's not. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I couldn't have interviewed this guy to that degree. I said, and I like him because when I'm talking, when he's interviewing this guy and I'm thinking, I'm like, gosh, well, I wonder this. Here comes the question right out of Joe's mouth on what it is. But then on the same token, he has the ability to have these conversations on a daily basis, which is increasing his knowledge. So I find that,
and on a wide range of topics too.
It's
not just he's definitely has an innate ability, and it's probably more so a skill now too, to be able to ask those questions, or be able to glean those insights, and kind of pull the threads on certain topics that it's fascinating for sure. But I definitely I totally agree with Dana White's like assessment of like him wanting to feel like he's throwing in the towel on like traditional doctor, and it's not, it's sick care, right?
Yeah.
Like I go in the last like 2 times I've gone in for like my annual physical. Like they have done literally nothing except for like, well, you could get a prescription for this or that. Like, and it was like, and it was stupid stuff where it was like, well, I don't feel like I'm getting as much sleep as I should. I mean, it's kind of somewhat normal, but I think I might be on like the lower end of like where I went for sleep. And they're like, well, you could do this. And I was like, well, no shit. Like but thankfully, like, I have a really awesome friend who's a doctor, and like, he's more like, a wellness practitioner than anything, but, just content like Gary Brecka and stuff is
it's invaluable.
I really resonate with a lot of that stuff.
And it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the information age that we live in.
Right.
Okay, so we're coming up on time. Let me share with you another thing, because we've been talking a lot about AI. I use AI on the daily basis, and most recently what I do, it has become my nutritionist, because I am consuming 40% protein, 30% carbs, 30% fat. The challenge is that it's really hard to dial in your macros on a daily basis. So every time I eat something, I've gotten into the rhythm of eating, knowing specific meals on the combination, but sometimes I get off. So what
Yeah.
I do is I screenshot where I'm at on calories and where I'm at on macros, and I go to Chat GPT and I'm like, I have X amount of time left. What can I eat to make sure that I still maintain within my calories and I'm hitting my macros based on, because it now knows the food that I eat.
Yeah.
It's taken that and it punches out, okay, here are your options of what you can eat. You can eat a cup of cottage cheese and an apple. You can have some Greek yogurt and this. You can do this
Yeah.
and that. So it's pretty awesome.
I love that, dude. Man, I tell you, there's the little things like that that just make life, can bring so much quality of life and simplicity to things. It's really awesome.
It is.
I
All right, brother. I have
I
got to
did.
jump to this next
Let's get going.
commitment. It's good seeing you. We're back on track, everyone. So we'll see you guys next Friday.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.